Welcome back. It's the Sabres Live portion of the show that's actually called Bandits Live, and we're continuing that through the course of the week. And for good reason, it's back-to-back championships for the team and an MVP, not only in the regular season this year, but in the playoffs as well. And Josh Byrne with us. Josh, congratulations on another amazing season. Have you found proper words to put it all into perspective here a couple of days later?
Yeah, no, first of all, thanks for having me, guys. It's always fun to chat it up with you guys. But no, I haven't. It still feels like a dream. Everything happened so fast. One of the, most incredible weekends I've ever had in my life. So yeah, no words, no words to describe it at all.
Do you want this to be a fun interview, or do you want this to be Barbara Walters type? When you were a young kid, Josh, did you ever think you would win MVP of the season in the playoffs?
Hey, wherever you guys want to take it, I'm good. I'm good. I'm in a good space. So
Well,
whatever
let me ask you
works.
this then, because when there was 5 minutes left in the game, and you guys looked like you were up comfortable enough that I could sit on my couch, watch it on TV, and think, "Ooh, who's gonna get MVP?" Did it cross your mind with 5 minutes left, like maybe I'll double up? I'll double up this year. Maybe I'll do what Dane did last year.
No, man, not at all. To be honest, I was surprised when they called my name for MVP. I thought they were maybe going to give it to Dane or Chase. And Chase had an
Yeah.
incredible series too. So I was pretty surprised, to be honest with you. And in those 5 minutes, you're just like trying to bunker down the hatches and just really focus in on me. Like, you can't let this slip away, man. You're 5 minutes away, and everything that we're talking about on the bench, just like making sure we don't give them any easy goals, making sure we don't give them any easy opportunities, and just 5 minutes for the rest of your life. And yeah, that stuff never really pops into your head. And then all of a sudden, they're calling your name. I'm like, why? Why are they? What's going on? Did I do something wrong? Like, what's up? Like, so no, it's definitely never something that crossed my mind.
Well, it's an amazing discussion that we had just centered around that, the number of different players that truly could win the award and were deserving of the award. How is it different this year? And I'll preface it by saying I sensed that there was more relief in someone like Dane, just seeing the body language and stuff. Like last year was just, it was so hard to get that first one. And this year there was just this like, almost like I've been there before. Not that you're not, enjoying it as much, but how would you describe it?
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because like, every season it's a different scenario, it's a different situation, right? Like last year was almost I would almost say last year was a bit of a relief, because it was like, you're playing Colorado again, you got upset by them in year one. And then, year two, it's like, you go up again, you go there, you lose, and it's almost like it's replaying in your head, and you're like, oh my God. And then, all of a sudden you finish it off, and it's just like this crazy explosion of emotions and, relief, excitement, joy, thankfulness, all this stuff. And then this year it's like, it was weird. Like, even going into the game, it was kind of like there was a calmness about our group, which was like, can go, one of two ways sometimes, right? You're like, are we ready? Are we just, are we focused? And, I think it's something about familiar, like being familiar with the situation. Like, we've been to the finals, 4 times in a row, especially with our core group. And it's like, you know what, like, it's just a lacrosse game. You have to play 60 minutes still. The rules don't change. It's just focusing on the little details, that's eventually gonna make us win games. And that's all we had to do. And that's really what it came down to, man. So yeah, I mean, it was crazy, like, to look back up to, and then like you're looking up and you're like, damn, like that banner is gonna say 23 and then 24 right next to it. Like, that's pretty cool.
That is very cool. Now, at the bottom of the banner, we should have a quote, and the quote comes from your coach, John Tavares, who admitted to Duffer later in the night after a couple of cold beverages that he never saw the hidden ball trick, the one that actually ended up being the game-winning goal. He said, "I didn't even see it. I missed it." What about that? So it should say, "Coach never saw it," right underneath it, right? That should be the quote. What about that play itself? You took a beating without even having the ball driving to the net, and you know, that worked. Like, how often do you try that play, and how often has it worked?
You know, we do try it a decent amount. You know, I think Dane and I have gone it a couple times. It's just one of us is just like missed the net because it's tough, right? Like when you're the guy with the ball and you see the goalie not looking at you, a lot of things go on in your mind, right? Like, A, is he baiting me? Is he pretending not to see it?
Yeah.
Right. So then it's like, oh, and then there's also like a pressure. It's like, I gotta hit an empty net right now. So like it's like, oh, you can't miss this. You know what I mean? But we had tried it a couple times, you know, earlier on in the game, and they were all over it. And something about the way that when Frazee flicked it up and the way that like he caught it right underneath my stick, it was just the perfect timing. And right when it happened, I kind of felt like, oh, we got a chance here, especially if I attack. And you know, I looked up and I saw Dougie's eyes, and I was like, I gotta settle this, man. I gotta just pretend like I'm going to the net hard and kind of make a play. And then all of a sudden, I didn't even see the ball go into the net. I was so focused on trying to sell it. I heard it. I heard the fans erupt and you know everything going crazy. And I was just like, oh man, I can't believe it worked. So and then Frazee takes a penalty.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like my
What did
body
he
language
do?
after.
I missed that part of it. I knew he got unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, uh, I probably should. I mean,
We are on cable.
no,
We are on
it
radio. It's a family show.
it honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was pretty funny. I guess he turned to the bench and just put his hands up and was like, "Oops," and yeah, the ref didn't like it. And you know, it's probably not great to you know mock the other team's bench, especially you know that deep into a run and stuff. But I went back to him and he came in, he was smiling. I was like, "Hey, listen, we're gonna kill this off for you, but nice job, my man."
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad to mock the other team, but some players get really into it, right? Dane was chirping the whole game. He was on the penalty bench and they kept showing the penalty bench and he kept saying, look at the score. And he's doing like things that you do when you're 12 years old. And I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, like he's just so intense.
I know. It's one of those things, right? Where, and if you go back to the first two games when we played those guys, like there's a lot of history there, right? It's no secret that you know we don't like them and they don't like us. Um, Especially you know they're kind of you know like the guy Steros is almost like a Brad Marchand kind of a player, just like
Yeah.
loves to get under your skin, you know, loves to chirp, and he's really good at it. And they have a couple other guys that do similar things, and they're very smart the way they do it because they walk the line, but a lot of times they don't take penalties and they draw you into taking penalties. So that was a big focus for us going into this, you know, series was listen, we can't allow that to dictate what's going on. You know, like we have to focus on scoring goals and then, you know, talk after and let that kind of do the talking. So yeah, it was funny. I was watching Dane go crazy in the penalty box. Like, it's pretty funny, man. I love seeing him get fired up.
Well, it is amazing. Hard to believe, really, that in consecutive regular seasons, you started with a season opening loss to Albany. And yet there you were at the end of it all, winning the championship. And this time it was against Albany. But so let's get into the fun stuff. What was memorable about being in the room, being at Cobblestone, being anywhere else, being at the rally, the fire trucks, all the rest of it?
Not a lot. Not memorably. Like I don't really remember a lot. To be honest with you, we were getting into it pretty quick. But no, but it honestly, man, like something that will forever be burned into my memory is you know when you're kind of not finished celebrating, but you know you shake hands and you know you get to kind of take a second and take everything in, and you know there's a place, a section where you know my fiance, my family sits, and being able to look up at them and just seeing you know my mom like tearing up and my fiance going crazy, you know, and her family super excited for me. That was something that I have pictured in my head, and it'll never go away. Just to see how excited that they were, and it was something that's definitely you know I'll forever hold close to my heart. But the rally was also cool. You know, pulling up on a fire truck and just seeing a ton of people just going nuts, it was pretty special. People crying. Like, it was definitely an out of body experience. Yeah, something I'll remember forever for sure.
Dane sang at the rally, the "Hey Baby" song. Who's the best singer on the team? Because it's definitely not the Great Dane.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
he should probably stick to scoring goals and playmaking because he ain't the singer, that's for sure. I don't think we got any good singers on our team, man. Every time we usually just that's our winning song after the games and stuff,
Yeah.
and it doesn't sound great, to be completely honest with you. We try to cut it off pretty quick, but no, I don't think we have one good singer. I wouldn't mind hearing Frazee try to belt out something, but besides that, no, I don't think anyone's got that.
well, Marty, it's funny you bring that up because I think that to me was the most remarkable difference year over year. The first year, Dane, despite all the buildup that led to the rally, he was trying to. Granted, he might have taken a shot of something before he delivered his speech, but even Swenny joked this year that, oh, Dane will probably come up with something written out on his phone, right? Well, this was ad lib Dane and singing Dane and all the rest of it Dane,
Mhm.
and I think that was a very clear indicator, Josh, of just again the growth, the comfort, the everything that you guys have developed between one another. And by the way, Swenny, I know you wouldn't have actually been on the stage for all of it. Swenny was like an MVP at the rally. He had
Yeah,
so many good lines, keeping the crowd entertained while you guys were rolling down the street on the fire trucks.
he's the man. He's always got great one liners. Is always keeping the crowd fired up. But yeah, man, it's been really cool to kind of get that comfort, in front of a bunch of fans. And at first it's just like, oh, what am I gonna say? I think it's funny, even Weiser's speech, he like froze. He's like, what do you have to say to the people? And he's like, I love the city. It's like you panic, right? So yeah, no, good kudos to Swanee, because he's always got the one liners packed up, and it takes a special person to be able to do that.
Okay, you're working out already. What's the summer gonna be like now? Summer ball. When does that start? And how's the body feeling after this year?
Uh it's a little banged up. I mean, listen, anytime you go to the finals, you've got two back-to-back games. Obviously the series against Toronto is just an absolute bruise fest.
Yeah.
And then same thing with Albany. It's just like, and Albany, we were even, Friday, Saturday, which takes a toll on your body for sure. So I'm pretty banged up, but we've got chaos with the PLL training camp coming up next week. So we're trying to get our bodies right to go and have a summer, traveling around and playing for the chaos. So yeah, we're back in the gym, and we're trying to make a run there too. So and the grind never really stops, man. It's just part of this life.
Do you miss the summer indoor game in Canada?
Yeah, I do. It's I love box. It's always been something that's just close to my heart. And there's something special, chasing a man cup. It's something I've never really gotten to do. But yeah, it's just different, right? It's very, very different. But for right now, gonna stick to separating the two and doing box, in the winter with Buffalo, and then field in the summer. I think it gives me a little bit of balance, and allows me to get excited for both leagues.
And if you were going into the team store today and you were buying a Bandits jersey, which teammate's jersey would you buy?
It's got to be Vino, man. I don't think that he's gotten enough credit for this year. He's held us in when we needed to, and you look back at that, especially that Georgia game, when we were struggling to score, and he was just holding down the fort against a great Georgia team, and same thing in Toronto, and same thing in Albany. It's like I feel like he doesn't get enough credit, and to be able to share a locker room with a guy like that who's going to go down as the best goalie of all time, and who knows how many rings and championships and awards that guy has, and but with all that being said, just an amazing human, a great father, a great husband. He's just all around, the role model person that you look up to, and to be as healthy as he is and as ripped as he is, for how old he is, he's an inspiration. So that would be the jersey I'd be going for sure.
Yeah, chuggers say he's pretty ripped. Even his wife jaw drops once in a while when he would walk by. So, but I was gonna say you probably have to get a vintage Bandits jersey because Vino's been in the league for a while, not with the Bandits for that long, but still. But the Bandits kind of brought their older style jerseys, right? So it's still the same now, and it looks great.
The
so
retro.
yeah, I would definitely take a Vino jersey as well. I think I may have to do that to go with my big hat that my son got last year when he was at the championship game. So I'll be all decked out for Bandits next season for sure.
Let's go.
Good luck with the three-peat, Josh, and thank you again for another memorable season. It was one for the books for sure. Congratulations.
No, thank you guys so much for having me, man. And yeah, we look forward to chasing the back-to-back. It'll be fun.
There he is, the MVP of the regular season, the playoffs, and a huge part of the Bandits championship again in 2024.